High school sports, where the student athletes of today are forged into men and women of tomorrow. Join our Chippewa Valley Big Reds and Dakota Cougars on their journey towards building their skills and identities, learning to endure through struggles and setbacks, discovering the camaraderie of working together as a team, and feeling the unparalleled rush of achieving greatness on the field. Welcome to CVC Sports.
These two teams very patient. We spotted that during their first meeting. Not willing to make the costly turnover. Dakota looking to build from their own zone once again. Ball chipped up. It's going to be scooped up by Dawood. Goes near side. Dedvikovic again. Dedvikovic trying to get around a defender. Takes a bit of a spill, and we will get a whistle.
Not enough advantage there. It's a good call by the referee. Give him a restart in a dangerous spot. You talk about the patience, Brad. It's I'm one of those people. It's called the beautiful game for a reason. And both teams taking their time, showing good possession, not trying to do too much. It's a fun game to watch when it looks like that, although I know people would love to see more goals.
So we will have this free kick scenario set up. Dedvikovic, a very dangerous player with the ball. Big situation early on in this game, just 3 minutes in, finds its way in on net. Savage covers. So Dominic Savage having to make the first save of this soccer game. It was a good one.
It was. It's a tester. It was hit pretty hard, low, positioned well. Keeper was positioned well. The wall did its job. Made Dedvikovic go around the wall, and keeper was there. Hard not to root for the young man in goal. Again, the freshman goalkeeper playing varsity soccer. It's an impressive feat at this level, so it's nice to see him sharp at the beginning here.
Looking for the through ball, got cut off. Julian Sawa had the idea. He was able to poke that ball through the defender's feet, headed forward by Vestal to Sawa. Sawa around a defender, through a defender. And that last line of defense stood tall for the Chippewa Valley Big Reds once again. Cougars amping up the intensity on the offensive end. That was Prika. Prika went down. Just a good, solid play defensively for the Big Reds. Nudged off the ball momentarily. That's Heisa. Chippewa Valley turns it over. Dedvikovic scans the offensive zone. Didn't see anything he liked, so they'll retreat momentarily. Turn it upfield now, right at the midfield stripe.
Yeah, Chippewa's they've got their full midfield drop back, so they're going to make Dakota press.
Prika wears number 2 in blue. Senior midfielder. Far side of the field. Ball spins all the way.
Not a great touch there, yeah.
Two teams pretty solid defensively.
It's been a pretty organized game so far. Both teams doing a good job finding open space. Ooh, good move there.
Bit of a run out. Heisa. And a captain there for Dakota. Brent Newton. Dedvikovic again on the left foot. Through ball.
Midfielder.
Look out. Right into the midsection of Dominic Savage.
I don't hate that shot from that far out. He didn't have much in the center. He only had the 2 other guys, so it's worth a shot from the corner of the 18 there.
Get the sense maybe in that last game that Dakota would have liked to have taken a few more shots in that game.
You're absolutely right. I mean, the amount of time they possessed the ball, and they could not get that final touch. They either dribble a little bit too deep, or they, not too often, but a few times they try to make that extra pass and just didn't get many shots off, despite the pressure they put on.
If you remember correctly, their first goal of that game was about a 20-25 yarder. It was just an absolute big blast.
Absolutely.
So you just never know just getting the ball on the net.
I think they also had about 20 corners in that game.
Yeah, a lot of set pieces throughout that game and really couldn't turn it into offense. An opportunity here for Luka Savic. Left wing side. A little bit of a bump there by Julian Sawa is going to get called.
Yeah, try to keep those arms down. That's pretty common at this age, this level. It's hard to just go shoulder to shoulder. Natural instincts to get those elbows up.
If you're unfamiliar with the high school game, you are allowed endless substitutions. The clock will stop during injuries and after goals. There's no sort of extra time added to the clock. So once it expires at the halftime and at the end of regulation, it is official time. That wall set up defensively for the Cougars results in a block shot. Big carom all the way to the far side of the pitch. A little battle for that loose ball is won and controlled now by Dakota. They play it forward, streaking right down the middle of the field, slamming on the brakes, readjusting now. That's Kachu.
That's a right idea. Yeah, right idea on that ball. Just a little bit too far forward. Gave the defender a chance to get to that ball. But they're going to try to keep the pressure on here.
Yeah, Cougars quickly threw that ball in. Big blast, just over top of everything. Look out. I think that might be out in the parking lot.
You got a lot behind that.
So we'll have a goal kick here for Chippewa Valley. 8 minutes gone by. Chippewa Valley coming off a home loss to Anchor Bay, 3-0. Losses to Utica, 1-0. Eisenhower, 6-2. And a home loss to Romeo, 5-0 in those 4 games since we've seen these two teams play. Not the type of momentum you want to carry into the postseason. This is the last regular season game for both of these teams, as they will turn their attention now to district play. Both teams playing out of the same district. We'll talk about potential playoff scenarios shortly.
It's a little sloppy in the back here, but Dakota recovers, gets that ball out. They're going to try to counter now.
Preek on the far side. Goes to the middle of the field. Not much room to operate for Leon Dawood, so he'll go back with the ball.
You can see Chippewa's game plan looks very similar to the last time they played. They're keeping numbers back, which means that the transition might be a little bit less of a team effort. They might be looking for that long ball once again. But like I said, last time they played Dakota, 2 out of their 3 goals came on that long ball after Dakota had long possessions.
Chris Martinez came away with the intercept. Ball was driven into the Cougar territory, but not very far. They'll regroup right at midfield. Crossfield pass onto the right foot of Yunkai.
That's a great way to set up a counter. Use the entire field.
Tiptoe in the sideline, some fancy footwork. Pass comes back. Thrown into the middle, chested down momentarily. That was Newton once again into the box over top the crossbar. Dawood with the scoring chance. First real good scoring chance of this soccer game.
Yeah, it's tough first touch, but he recovered well and then had a nice little touch to get that shot off. And just leaning back a little too far. Got to get over that ball, keep it underneath that crossbar.
So this really has the same type of feeling as the first game. Dakota really sort of dictated play through the first, I would say, 20 or 30 minutes of that first half. Chippewa Valley came up with answers seemingly all game long as that ball's ripped home right on cue.
You know what? That was an excellent shot, and that caught everybody off guard. I don't think anybody expected him to shoot from that far out and to strike it as well as he did and put it just under the crossbar, as I just mentioned. That's an excellent finish for Dakota.
Liam Kachu, the senior, our very first goal of this game. 10 minutes in. And it gives the Cougars the early 1-0 lead. Just able to tuck that ball underneath the crossbar. Perfectly placed kick.
And now we can see if Dakota's defense can just stay solid, anticipate those long balls, don't give up that tying goal here quickly, because that's how momentum can shift back.
Chippewa Valley root forward. Yunkai again. Chippewa Valley took a spill right at the midfield stripe. All kinds of speed down that far side, getting back defensively. Good slide tackle.
Was he good positioning in that whole run?
Dakota out now to the early 1-0 lead. Goal scored, as we said, by number 16, the senior, Liam Kachu. And Dakota looking for more, and get the sense here early on that Dakota's game plan is just to throw as much as they can at the net and just see what happens. That was Leon Dawood again. Just missed the goal wide, but.
Yeah, you're right, Brad. It's a third or fourth long-distance shot that Cougars have taken, but they finished on one, so game plan might stay this way.
Dominic Savage really didn't give up a whole heck of a lot of rebounds, per se. He was pretty good at covering the ball. So in terms of maybe second chance opportunities, probably not going to see them, but you never know. 28:05 left to go, opening half of play. So glad you decided to tune us in here on Chippewa Valley Cable Television. 1-0 our score. Dakota Cougars out in front here on their home field.
Yeah, both teams playing a good game. The 1-0 score is just telltale of a good shot, to be honest with you. But Chippewa's defense has had good shape throughout the day. Not many mistakes. Both teams have possessed when they needed to. I mean, Dakota's had the ball more than Chippewa. They've maintained shape, which is good, using the entire field. This is a very similar start for Dakota as they did last time they played Chippewa.
Low line driving kick. It's going to result in a turnover. Not much on that kick, and then played out of bounds into the bench area. Throw in upcoming here for the Big Reds.
See, I compliment their play, and they both looked a little sloppy there, Brad. That might be my fault.
The old announcer's curse, per se, is there's a good clean takeaway and then a steal right at midfield. Some speed and some potential numbers here for Chippewa Valley. That crosser just checked up. All kinds of speed. Look out. Julian Sawa had his shot redirected. He's going to try to track this one down. Nope. He's going to allow it to go out of bounds. We'll have a throw in.
People might underestimate that is a long run for a defender. So that attempted cross was that was a tired cross at that point. That was an excellent run from the defender, but that is not easy to do and then try to finish. We're looking for some oxygen at this point.
Devakovic is going to take his time getting this corner kick in, probably for that reason alone. Cougars get in position, the ball's bent in and deflected off the header out of bounds. So he will get to do it all over again. Second corner of this game.
That's a good clear. It was actually a very good ball from the corner. Had good shape to it. You want to see that ball hook in. You don't want it too high, too much of a floater. That was a nice ball.
Some movement by the Cougars. Devakovic again, cleared out defensively again by Chippewa Valley. And now out of bounds, possession over to the Big Reds. Have to imagine at some point shortly we'll see our first subs of this game, as that was a costly turnover. Kind of an ill-advised throw-in off the foot of Martino and out of bounds. Twisting, turning, knifing it up the field. Luka Savage puts on the brakes. Zernick with the play defensively for Dakota.
Just clear there. His defender wasn't sure what was behind him, so safe play. Just cleared out of bounds. Had the winger on a run there, so it's a safe play. Got a deflection as well, so they got the throw in.
Kick backwards, headed forwards, played down, and then the bump came. Official stop play.
Yeah, it's a good step. by the Chippewa forward there. It almost, he took that foul, and it was a foul, but it's only because he stepped in play at the right time there to challenge the defender. So this sets up a good opportunity here for the Big Reds. They've got 4 men far side of the box, a little bit outnumbered with Dakota defenders, though. Chippewa still leaving 3-4 players outside of the box playing deep. Let's see if they're floated in.
Try to bend it. Oh, boy.
Ooh.
Through the hands of goaltender Daniel Stevenson. That nearly turned into a dangerous-looking play.
Sure did.
He was Johnny on the spot. He was in the correct position and then just watched the ball sail through his hands.
Well, in Chippewa's forwards, they're going to probably hear about that from their coach because, you are told you never stop. You do not stop your run until you know that ball is completely covered. And that's an opportunity. That's why you make those runs.
And there's a costly turnover. Leon Dawood up ahead.
Ooh.
And the kick, too much steam behind it. That was Travis Graves. Split the uprights. That's 3 in football, but no good in soccer.
He did have some Justin Tucker distance on that one.
That was an absolute bomb. I don't know if we'll even find that soccer ball. These 50-50 balls have been seemingly won throughout this game by Dakota. Played out of bounds. Possession will stay with Chippewa Valley. Throw in coming in from Chris Martinez. Hear all of the chatter taking place on the field. Lots of communication between these two teams.
I feel like that wind has died down. It's turned out to be a perfect night for soccer.
Yeah, good night to run around. Shouldn't see any sort of cramping. Is right on cue. We have a bit of a injury to a Chippewa Valley player who kind of pulled up.
Be another corner.
It's going to be a short one here for the Cougars.
Oh,
redirection, still loose on the doorstep. Not cleared out. Big blast short side. Tried to tuck it in. That was Brent Newton again.
That's a missed opportunity there. Mistakes in the defensive side for Chippewa, and Dakota unable to take advantage.
We'll stop the clock. Justin Vivier, who was injured on that previous play, finally went down. So we'll stop play with 21:20 left to go in the first half.
He did call for the trainer right away. Hopefully he's okay, but the referee did not hesitate to call the trainer out.
Coach Jerry Haggerty coming out as well. So we mentioned Eisenhower, the top dog in the MAC Red, taking on Anchor Bay on the road tonight. The other game of note within the MAC Red, Romeo at Utica. Romeo still has an outside shot of co-sharing the MAC Red title if Romeo were to win tonight, and Anchor Bay was somehow able to upset Eisenhower. But Eisenhower currently in the driver's seat with an 8-1 MAC Red record. Romeo right behind them at 7-2. Grosse Pointe South has already claimed the MAC White division, 8-0-1 record. Lakeview a perfect 9-0 in the MAC Blue. Lance Cruz has won the gold with an 8-1 record. And how about St. Clair all the way down in the MAC Silver, 11-0 in division play, 12-3-1 overall. St. Clair Saints.
Yeah, and with
impressive stuff.
With New Haven right there. And that's a team you don't hear too much about in soccer, but they're only a game back of St. Clair. There's some competitive soccer going on down there in the Silver.
So still tending to the injured Big Red. He's up on his feet. That's a good sign. Justin Vivier going to come off the pitch now. Dakota is huddled up near their their home bench rather. So 21-20 left to go in the first half of play. The two teams have taken the pitch, nearly set to restart. Coach Haggerty's still out there. Can't start playing until he exits the field of play. So we'll have the goal kick. Clock will restart, and we are back to live action.
Dakota's right back at it.
Dedvikovic. Newton. Dedvikovic again. Boy, that ball took a funny spin off the field turf.
A lot of top spin on that off the defender's leg.
Dominic Savage looked like a shortstop out there having to make the play on the tough grounder. Battle for it at midfield, controlled by Chippewa Valley. Just nobody back offensively for the Big Reds.
Good use of that sideline there.
Changing direction. Once again.
Right idea. Just didn't keep it wide enough on that ball to the forward.
Chippewa Valley able to get back defensively. That ball will sail out of bounds. Linesman says Dakota ball. Are we seeing a goalie change? Crosanoia coming in to replace Daniel Stevenson. Don't see that too often, do you?
No, I was just taking a look. I mean, you see Anoya's the senior, so I'm wondering if that has something to do with it.
So it was a near perfect split of time here in the first half because that change came right around the 20-minute mark. Another goalie kick upcoming. Nice job by the scoreboard crew to put up the Backyard Brawl logo that they used for the football game. Why not?
That, yep.
Sensing a theme here. Second rivalry game between the two teams this year.
It was nice that the two booster groups worked together on the sale of that T-shirt. It was originally designed over at Chippewa Valley High School, and as we had some conversations, the decision was made that we'd have both booster groups sell that T-shirt and try to build that community feeling for that game. So that was a nice gesture from the Chippewa Valley booster group, and nice that the Dakota boosters could do their part to get that shirt out in the community.
Little old school Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Can't go wrong.
Current high schoolers probably had no idea what Rock'em Sock'em Robots were.
They're ageless, Brad. Everybody knows what Rock'em Sock'em.
Do they?
I think so. I think so.
Along with Stretch Armstrong?
That's right. Well, maybe not. That might be a stretch. But
This generation, I think, only played with video games, right?
yeah, I don't know. You get some retro stuff is now pretty cool. So I feel like Rock'em Sock'em might have lasted the test of time.
There's a nice play individually. Julian Sawa, he's going to take it all the way in. Why not?
Oh, great ball.
Spun a ball across, trying to get the shot of, a kick save, long rebound opportunity, and a goal.
Wow.
Kachu's second of the game.
great finish. Not much Savage could do. Savage made 2 great saves there. But that third one, it was an absolute laser, the top left corner.
The initial save by Dominic Savage made. The long rebound comes out. And once again,
on a 2-goal lead.
you.
A 2-goal, that's not, we did not see a 2-goal lead in the last game. It was 3-2 back and forth. So this is, we'll see what happens here. We'll see if Dakota changes its game plan. I wouldn't. It's still early in the first half here, so.
It's about 12 minutes in between goals, as that one's netted at the 22-minute mark of the first half. I think message certainly sent here tonight by the Dakota coaching staff. Some learning lessons from that last matchup between these two teams, taken to heart certainly, as there's another ball sent into the box, tapped through, big save made.
Great play by the defender to keep that ball out of the net.
Everybody kind of sprawled across the goal mouth that time. I think that might have been Andre Hoxha that came across to make that play. Boy, a 3-goal lead would have been absolutely huge for Dakota. And
yeah, nice little back heel touch there. Good effort, Chippewa player. Just a little bit too slow getting there.
We got another Chippewa Valley player down on the far side track.
I didn't see how he went down.
Certainly not stretching him out like it would be a cramp. This looks like maybe an ankle. So get another pause in play. 16-19 left to go in the first half.
Dakota's looked very sharp. They've controlled the ball well, taken advantage of a couple of their opportunities, and actually they've had a number of just missed opportunities too. And I mean, great shots, putting a lot behind them. Sailed a few over the crossbar. Some good saves by Savage, and otherwise this game really could be even more lopsided than it is.
Yeah, since it lost to Chippewa Valley, they had a 1-1 tie with Anchor Bay, and then 2 identical 2-0 losses. The top 2 teams in the MAC Red, Romeo and Eisenhower, both of those games home losses, and then came back and were able to beat the Utica Chieftains 3-1 in their last game. Cougar squad that at times this season has struggled offensively. The 6 goals against Lakeview, their biggest output of the season. 2 goals in the early part of this first half have to feel really good. Linesman signals Dakota ball. Free kick upcoming here for the Cougars.
Dakota had a 4-game win streak at the beginning of the season. They were 5-1, and then they have not won back-to-back games since then. So this would be the first time they've done that since early in the season.
Yeah, they really ran into that meat grinder of league play, starting off with Romeo and Ike, and MAC Red just such a difficult league. As that ball sent wide off the foot of Brent Newton. But really a nice start here tonight by the Dakota Cougars. Chippewa Valley trying to play catch-up. We know they have it in their back pocket. It's a team that found answers seemingly throughout that first contest between the 2 schools. Have to dig in deep here tonight.
Yeah, they're definitely struggling to create right now. The Dakota defense and midfield's really dominated the play. I think Chippewa's probably only had 2 chances here in the first half.
Pressure being felt. It leads to a turnover, a quick shot.
Oh, good save.
Savage makes a save, and there's another one of those rebounds cleared out momentarily by Chip Valley, and then finally played on deep onto the foot of Lucas Savage. But Dakota once again has it. Possession has favored the Cougars in a big way here tonight. Prika. Weak eye. Nice job by the official to duck out of the way of that ball. Cougars do a really nice job of regrouping.
Yeah, they're trying to keep pressure on. They're
never too far out of position, are they?
No, they haven't been today. And as soon as they get that ball, you see the movement around the player, and it's always moving north. They're trying to get to that attacking position quickly. Not using the support as often as they needed to at the beginning because, honestly, their shape has been excellent, and they found open space, and they've been able to move it up. There's been a lot of turnovers from the Big Reds in their zone, too, which has made it very difficult for them to get out of their zone.
This is the fourth or fifth corner kick now for the Cougars. The word I come up with is disciplined, right? Cougars have been very disciplined tonight.
Yeah.
This one's bent in, headed just wide.
Good effort.
By Caleb Hammersley down there. Not a lot of sustained offense tonight for Chippewa Valley.
Hasn't been much offense, really.
Go with the short kick, far side of the pitch. Dangerous pass. Liam Garner. Kicked forward.
You see how quickly Dakota's defense drops back. It's they are not. Well, they're going to try not to give up that long ball like they did last time they played, but you see them anticipating and getting back quickly.
Numbers here for the Cougars, a little 4-on-3 if they hurry. Joey Mueller played it along this near side.
Good defensive play there.
Forward.
Oh, great move.
Liam Kachu with the 2 goals taken down, and he's going to get the call on the slide tackle.
Maybe a card here.
Yep,
Yeah.
yellow card. Stephen Closery. Closery will have to come off.
It's the right call from the referee. You don't, if you don't give a card there, it can open the game up in a way you don't want it to. Got to make sure the players know if you're going to go in for a slide tackle, it's got to be under control.
They have to make an effort, obviously, on the ball.
Well, that's a risk you take as a defender. If you go in for a slide tackle and you don't get ball first, you're most likely going to be taking a yellow card.
Dedvikovic was able to get one from about the same spot all the way in on net. A bit of a ground ball. About 3 or 4 minutes into this contest. This time he's going to look to go upper 90 and missed over top.
He was going to hit that one low. He told himself as he approached that ball. So. And he was right.
Everyone in the stands and everybody up in this press box, I think maybe was anticipating he was going to go low again. And he fired one over top of everything. Our ball boys tonight are certainly getting their exercise on that end of the field. Got to go chasing after a number of soccer balls here tonight. 11 minutes left to go in the first half. Chippewa Valley trailing by 2. 2 Liam Kachu goals have given the Cougars the lead. Dakota doing a terrific job clogging up the lanes. Sawa around the defender. Avoids the slide tackle. Gets around another defender. Sawa. Tough angle.
Great low
Through.
cross. Great low cross. It's a tough shot and a bouncing ball, but great effort there by the Cougars. Another good opportunity for a goal.
That was good recognition and play there by Sawa, realizing he had really no angle at firing it on net, so gladly took the cross.
Well, he did a nice job beating that first defender. Then the second defender got a little caught up and lost his footing, which then opened up that opportunity for the Cougars.
That was just an instance there where Sawa ran out of real estate. Ran himself into an odd angle, so rather than take the shot, the cross out. Right now, nothing out of the Big Reds. Noya. Zernick. The far side. Streaking down the sideline. Asking for the ball, just out of the reach that time of Prika.
It's an important 9 minutes for both teams here. You know, Chippewa Valley does not want it. They can't give up a third goal. And Dakota's got to be careful. You know, you give up a late goal here to Chippewa Valley, and that can change momentum going into halftime with Chippewa only down a goal potentially. So you might see some cautious play on Dakota's end here for the last 9 minutes. There's that ball.
Good cross down low, and Anoya has to make his first save of the game. Kind of getting tossed into the fire, so to speak, right off the bench, and that was a tough ball. Made its way in on the goalkeeper.
It's kind of short hopped on him too, so he had to make a tough little save there.
Joey Mueller, another cross.
It's an excellent ball.
Slowed up momentarily and allowed the defender to get back for Chippewa Valley, who will gladly just kick it out of bounds.
Yeah, good patient play there on the defender's side. He kept his feet moving, didn't let the forward's body, you know, change his footwork, and he stayed disciplined and really gave the forward no opportunity to get around him.
Referee said that went off of Dakota.
Yeah.
So a bit of a break for Chippewa Valley. Let's see if they can take advantage of it. 50-50 battle for it in the offensive zone, won by Dakota. Come all the way here to the near side. Rudy Larson.
We see it again.
Another
Dakota, nice
quick
job
shot.
of using the width of the field. When you use the width of the field, it creates opportunities because it forces the defense to spread out, which gives your midfield and your forward a chance to move into the center of the field without bodies. And it's something that coaches scream about, keeping your width, because it's the only way to keep the defense moving.
Another big blast off the back of a defender. Closery is going to feel that one for a while as he's still holding his lower back. Brent Newton going to try to take advantage of the situation. A little bit of a bump from behind by the defender, now kicked out of bounds. Boy, oh boy, the Big Reds clearly on their heels as the Cougars just continue to apply pressure. Tedvikovic changing direction. Goes short with the pass to Mueller.
Another block.
That was Closery again. Now he trips up his man.
This will be a dangerous spot again. Tell you what, those block shots, it's something you do as a defender, but when it's a little bit brisk like this, there's just that extra sting. I remember that feeling, and that's they don't go away right away either. This is a very dangerous spot for the Cougars. Nice created opportunity here by Duvikovic. The defender was kind of stuck. Didn't have much of a choice. Tried to go low. Almost got away with it. The wall jumped. It almost snuck underneath.
So missed opportunity for Dakota. Whistle from behind the play. Play on, it'll be Chippewa Valley ball. Five and a half minutes left to go in the first half. That one sails out of bounds, so quickly back over to Dakota. Cougars will bring on a sub. Liam Kachu, the goal scorer, will check out.
Little extended halftime for him. Make sure he's got his legs underneath him for the second half.
He certainly deserves the break. Julian Sawa.
Rare giveaway there by Dakota.
Very dangerous forward back on.
Chippewa gives it right back.
Hasn't been the cleanest of halves for the Big Reds. Ball deflected off the side of a defender. Throw-in coming up for Dakota once again. Bukovic leaves it that time for Joey Mueller. Mueller feeling a little bit of pressure. We'll go back to one of his defenders, Zernick. So there you go. There's going out to that far side of the field, creating that width. Newton.
All the way back.
To Mueller.
Good anticipation there.
Yeah, I was just going to say, terrific anticipation there by Chris Martinez. Looked like a cornerback jumping the route.
Yeah, absolutely. He was ready.
Liam Garner trying to use some speed. Three Cougars back defensively off the left foot of Prika. Prika right on top of that Cougar logo at midfield.
Good
Players
challenge.
tangle up. Strong play by Julian Sawa. 3.5 minutes to go in the first half. Chippewa Valley really just one shot on goal to speak of.
Yeah, and even that was a kind of a deflection.
Cougars go back. Good touch. Brent Newton throws it forward, loose ball. And Big Red's able to get back defensively, and one of the defenders there for the Big Reds blew a shoe. Nathan Lewis, he's going to have to get that back on quickly.
Tell you what, you call the forechecking, if you will, for the forwards on Dakota's end is just create all kinds of havoc for Chippewa's defenders trying to clear the zone. They just have been unsuccessful in getting that ball to the Dakota side.
Yeah, the Cougars really have been harassing seemingly all night long. Frustration eventually may set in here for Chippewa Valley as they really haven't been able to get the ball over the midfield stripe too often. Lucas Savage will do just that. Aiden Borick going to use his speed to his advantage. Much taller defender, Arnell Zernick, got back.
That was well played by the defender. He kept his shape, stayed patient, then just used his body to push him off the ball.
Too strong that time for Julian Sawa. Couldn't settle the ball down. Lucas Savage cross with it. 90 seconds left to go in the first half of play, and kicked out of bounds. Back over to Dakota.
Parents of the Dakota senior soccer team, can you please start making your way down to the track? Parents of the Dakota seniors, please start making your way down to the track.
Nudged out of bounds. Dakota going to have to quickly get this ball in. Approaching 1 minute left here in the first half.
Counterattack here, the giveaway. See if Chippewa can create something here in the last minute. Cleared out of bounds by the Cougars. Go quick.
If you remember in that first game, the Big Reds were able to score late in that first half and really seemed to kind of stymie any sort of momentum that the Cougars had throughout that first half. Over top the defender. That foot race.
Going to stay in. Nope.
Sawa.
There's still time for a corner.
I think Coach Haggerty agreed with that call. Sawa quickly got the corner in. Over top of everyone, and this one will more than likely get cleared out. No, Dakota's going to retain possession. 10 seconds. Gotta hurry. Opportunity for one final shot, and that will do it. Dakota, the aggressor here in the first half, and
Strong
they're
half.
rewarded with 2 Liam Kachu goals, and the Cougars lead it 2-0 after 40 minutes of play. Paul, your thoughts on the first half?
I think Coach Morgini's going to be very happy with the way his Cougars played. You know, they maintained shape. They did not give up the big play. They put great pressure on Chippewa's defense, and they maintained good possession. I mean, that was a team effort. It was fun to watch, to be honest with you. And Chippewa's got to figure something out. They're going to have to draw something up to allow them to counter a little bit differently than they were first half, because there was just nothing there.
We too will take our halftime break with the Cougars in front of the Big Reds by the score of 2-0. We'll be back in less than 10 minutes with the start of the second half of play. Welcome back to Dakota High School, nearly set to go second half of play in this backyard brawl. The soccer version, Dakota in front 2-0 thanks to 2 Liam Kachu goals in that first half, scored 12 minutes apart. Liam opened up the scoring 10 minutes into this contest. And then at the 22-minute mark of the first half, netted his second goal of the game on a big, juicy rebound. Chippewa Valley really unable to generate any sort of offense in that first half of play.
We'll see what adjustments each team makes. Dakota probably just has to maintain what the game plan they had in the first half, at least for the first half of this half. See what the scoreboard says at that point before they make any major adjustments. And for Chippewa Valley, they had some questions to answer.
$11 seniors honored at halftime. Dakota unable really to meet during that halftime break to discuss any sort of strategy going forward because of the senior night ceremony. But the way the first half was played, the Cougars really don't need to make many adjustments.
It was perfect timing for senior night. Yep. Just do what you did the first half.
That's about it. Message sent. As for Chippewa Valley, kind of have to find a way to get some sustained offense. Tilt the pitch, so to speak.
I'm sure each of Dakota's seniors' parents had something to tell them individually about what to do in the second half. So individual pep talks for each of the seniors from Dakota.
Including goaltender Crossanoia, who came in at the halfway point of the first half. He remains in the game for Dakota.
Ooh.
And really nice play, a little shimmy shake. Dvokovic again. Boy, oh boy, he just is a playmaker for Dakota.
Yeah, I mean, Chippewa completely collapsed on him. He had 4 players standing around him, and he still was able to get a shot off.
Booted forward. Aiden Borick right in front of his bench. Cougars had to feel they gave that game away last time these two teams met back on September 18th. It was a game that they had in hand, and the Big Reds just continuously found ways of getting back in that game and scored very late in regulation.
Yeah, because the time of possession wasn't too different than it is. Well, maybe a little bit better that game for Chippewa, but it really still was a game dominated by Dakota as far as possession and opportunities. But like you said, Chippewa just found a way to put it in the back of the net more times than Dakota did.
It's always that first goal, right? That's the toughest one to get, and then seemingly sometimes the well just opens up and they start pouring in. But Dakota with a good, clean steal here, centering ball. Looking
Quite
for
put enough
Dawood.
on that. Yeah, allowed the defender to get back into position there and forced striker to come towards the ball instead of allowing that ball to get to him.
Numbers back once again for Dakota. Nice play defensively, Brent Newton. Left there for Rudy Larson.
Again, use the outside, good.
Julian Sawa changes directions twice. Sawa still has it on his right foot. Headed forward, but not out by Chippewa Valley.
A little frustration by the defender there. Good position for the Dakota forward, letting that ball go out of bounds.
Earns the throw in. Devakovic gets it right back. He's able to shift from left foot to right foot quite easily. Fancy footwork on this near side. Liam Garner. Slow pass, intercepted. Through a couple defenders. Sawa trying to work his way around a defender, just ran out of room as ball goes over the end line.
Definitely the name of his game, though. I mean, that's probably the fourth time we've seen him make a long run up the sideline, beat a couple players, and each time up until that, he had been able to get across for a dangerous opportunity for Dakota. That time, like you said, just ran out of space.
This is the important part here for Chippewa Valley. Got to build up. Boric. Boric fires high. Ooh, boy.
Good opportunity.
Chance. Yep.
Well, I'm sure Coach Martinez going to have a lot to say on that ball because that's the long ball that Dakota did not give up in the first half. That was about a 20-yard pass that put him on a run towards the net and gave him that opportunity. All right, that defense needs to close down on that.
Slide tackle momentarily breaks up the play. Dakota able to regather. Kachu. Those two goals, looking for the hat trick. Kachu. Defender steps in between. Dakota wasting no time. Brent Newton on this near side. It's Brady Vestal.
You can hear Coach yelling about getting back on defense because they're trying to make that long run, long pass once again. Coach Morcini's watching it.
Yeah, these cold, crisp, calm nights, your voice really projects. You can hear the coaching staff for the Cougars all the way on this far side of the field. So it'll stay with the Cougars. Larson will throw in, finds Newton. Bit of a bundled up crowd tonight.
Yeah, it's really cooled down quickly here. I did notice it's supposed to get down into the 40s, which I'm not sure I'm ready for.
Do see some blankets and even some winter hats. That's, I think, the first of the season, right? The first real cool night of the fall. We've been blessed with some beautiful weather.
Yeah, the football games have gotten cool, but not cold by any means.
It's going to be a tough play defensively. Nice job, Zernick. Later in the second half, this game gets. Just means good things for Dakota.
Oh.
Over the top. Roy Haddad defensively took a wicked hop off that field turf.
Yeah, I think that went off a defender. Yep, that's a corner kick. Good clear to be safe. With that ball bounce over the defender's head. A bit unlucky there. Yep.
Dakota really hasn't generated much off of these corner kicks. Can't think of one corner that Chippewa Valley's had.
No, I think you're right. I don't either. So Dakota had the one corner where the header opportunity that went just missed short side. But you're right. Other than that, I don't think they've gotten a shot off on a corner kick.
8 minutes gone by, second half of play. Dakota coming into play tonight with a 6-7-2 record. Chippewa Valley 3-10. We mentioned district playoffs coming up. Dakota will open up here on Wednesday night. Gonna take on Port Huron Northern. Chippewa Valley will play Thursday night against L'Anse Creuse North. The winner of those two games will play one another. So an opportunity perhaps in the second round of districts for a third meeting between these two teams.
Yeah, and Port Huron Northern's really struggled this year. They're sitting on a 2-9-4 overall record, but 0-7-2 in the white division. So Dakota's got a good opportunity to win that first game. And then you said
L'Anse Creuse North.
Yeah, L'Anse Creuse North is
blue
there. It's a little bit of a different story for Chippewa Valley, unfortunately. L'Anse Creuse North on a 9-4-3 overall record, 6-2-1 in the blue. But again, division lower than Port Huron Northern, so tough to gauge just based on record which team is a better draw. But with both teams being in the red, I'd like to think both Dakota and Chippewa would be favored to win those games.
That would be something to have a third meeting between these two teams. Could potentially be a rubber match if the Cougars are able to hold serve here tonight. Vukovic. That's the hardest thing, is these two teams always having to meet each other in district playoffs. You got always two terrific football teams, and they seemingly always match up in a district championship game, and one's going home by the second round of the MHSA playoffs.
Yeah, no, it's something we've talked about a lot, and it's, other teams in the state don't mind it, that's for sure.
Realize why the MHSA has to do it in terms of wanting to keep teams close to home in the early rounds of the playoffs, but it just doesn't seem right. Gotta be a better way to seed the playoffs.
Yeah, with as strong as the MAC Red is, I agree with you. It's people around the state, I've had a lot of conversations with administrators from all over the state of Michigan, and everyone knows about the MAC Red. So
certainly seems that the early indications are it's going to be an all MAC Red district again for football if everything plays out the way we think it will in terms of Eisenhower and Dakota and maybe either Romeo or Anchor Bay. It's tough.
Every year. The Dakota football team has looked very good this year. It's been fun to watch.
Undefeated once again.
A huge win for those Big Reds this past weekend over those Eisenhower Eagles who people have been talking about. So it was nice to see the Big Reds come out and get a huge win against a good team.
Chippewa Valley helping out Dakota, too, with that victory over Eisenhower, because it puts Dakota in the driver's seat for MAC Red Championship. So rivals helping each other out. It's almost unheard of, isn't it?
I don't think they'd tell you that's why they did it. But
terrific win for head coach Terry Wilson and his Chippewa Valley Big Reds at home over Eisenhower. And we will have their homecoming game on Friday against Anchor Bay.
Good effort there. Good outside shot. Put a lot on that. Yeah, I couldn't be happier for Terry. He's a wonderful human being and just good for those young men over at Chippewa Valley. And for him to get that big upset win, it had to feel good. So I'm very happy for him in Chippewa Valley. And Coach Bauer got those Cougars rolling right now. So both guys, they're doing their job, and probably both had a great weekend this weekend.
Yeah, so fortunate. Top-tier athletics here in this district. I was thinking about that today. I can't think of an athletic team here at Dakota that's not playing out of the MAC Red.
No, you're right. And for this soccer program, they've had to fight their way back. There was a time that Dakota soccer really struggled. Good effort. Oh,
Into the box. Look out. Not a lot on that shot. I think that surprised Kachu.
yeah, he disappointed himself there, but he's having a good game. He's got to get past that and regroup here. But I know he'd like to have that one back.
I think he was as surprised as anyone that that ball found his foot in the box, and he just couldn't get a lot on the shot. So the score remains 2-0. 26.5 minutes now left to go in regulation. Reminder, we will not have any sort of extra time added to the clock. So once the clock hits 0, the game is over. And if we are somehow in a tie situation, no extra penalty kicks or anything like that, we just will have ourselves a tie. Cougars looking to avoid that with the 2-goal lead, looking to add on. Leakai.
That's a nice ball.
Savage back there as the last defender.
The JV game's a little lopsided before this varsity contest today, with the Cougars JV team winning 6-1 over those Big Reds. Saw a good friend of mine, Rob Winarski, whose son's Alex, is a freshman playing on the JV team. So it was good to see them and those boys playing real well.
Future bright for this Dakota soccer program. 6 goals by the JV. That's a big number. Chippewa Valley looking for their first goal of this contest. Played out of bounds. Lucas Savage will toss it in. Long throw. Two defenders converge. Kept alive offensively. Hoxa. To backtrack and allow the defender to step in and kick it deep.
Big clear. Chippewa looked like they were building something there. It was looking pretty good in the offensive zone, but unable to get a shot away.
Headed forward. Vestal on that far side. Cougars will slow things down at midfield. Brent Newton to the far side. Really no sense in pressing things right now with the 2-goal lead. Kill some of this clock off. Leakai. I'll say possession back over to the Big Reds.
You can see Chippewa's trying. They're putting a little more pressure on the Cougars at this point in the last 5 minutes or so, trying to make something happen. But Dakota's defense has been strong. Once they get back inside their third, they've really shut down any opportunities for Chippewa Valley.
Turned upfield by the Cougars.
Good ball.
Calling for it. Tedvakovic, we know he can create. He's going to wait for some trailing teammates and spawn himself into a turnover.
Yeah, Dakota's willing to let him try. They kept their numbers back. You can see they're not going to let Chippewa Valley counter with something long. You got 4 or 5 defenders back to Chippewa's 2 or 3 forwards.
23 minutes now remaining in regulation. Subs coming in for Chippewa Valley, looking for some fresh legs. Sawa looks up to the sky in some frustration. Just out of the reach of Leakai. Just nothing going the way of the Big Reds right now. Dakota slowly turning this into a bit of a sludge fest. It's clogging everything up. Not allowing the Big Reds to build up from their own zone.
No, not much there.
Trying to kick it in deep, one and done. Ball.
Yeah, again, not much of a counter at this point for Dakota. They're leaving their players back. Gonna let them try to take on as many as they can here.
That ball somehow clung to that sideline and stayed in bounds. Brent Newton, the captain for the Cougars, comes near side. Devakovic again.
But there's nobody in the center. Still luckily bounced out to a player and got a shot off.
Now we got another injured Big Red. Stoppage in play with 21:07 left to go.
So either Dakota's game plan has completely changed here or they're just dog tired. But I think the former is more likely. They're just leaving their midfielders hanging back a little further than normal. Defenders dropping back to make sure they're not giving up that long ball, which makes sense about halfway through the second half here with a 2-goal lead. You don't want to give anything up at this point. Gotta keep those hands down. You get called on that every time.
Yep, Brent Newton getting called for the infraction. Be that first one for Chippewa Valley. They just need it. Find the back of the net. Fortunately for them, nothing has come easy here tonight.
No, and as a defender, you know, obviously you want to win, right? That's priority one. But late in a game, as a defender, and you're shutting out the opponent, there's a bit of pride that comes into play as well, and a little adrenaline. You want to maintain that shutout. You like seeing that goose egg up on the scoreboard.
Defensively, Dakota does have one shutout on the season. It was a 2-0 win in late August against Sterling Heights Stevenson, 2-0. I mentioned this is the last regular season game for both of these teams before the start of the MHSAA postseason. Carry that momentum, good play, good feelings, more than anything into the postseason.
Yeah, not a bad way to go in if Dakota can hang on and go in with a 2-game win streak. And Chippewa still looking for answers here. They don't want to go into the playoffs with 5 straight losses.
Kovic leaves it, trying to generate something for Kachu. Ball stays in bounds and then finally played out of bounds by Roy Haddad. Dakota going to take their time, no hurry.
Substitution for the Cougars.
Throwing from that far side. Big Reds trying to get a run out. Come to the near side here. Hoxa up ahead. Boy, Dakota just gets back defensively. That was Caleb Hammersley again. Boric on this near side, just no room for him to operate. Under 18 minutes to go in the second half. Kovic, he seemingly doesn't come off the field.
No. And his speed still separates him from everybody out there.
Trying to weave his way around 3 different Big Red defenders and just gets right back into the fray once again. Little mano-a-mano battle taking place between he and number 19 for Chippewa Valley, Ethan Lewis. Cross a little too strong. And out, says the line judge on that far side.
Another giveaway here.
Kovic, trying to go far side, nothing there. Picked off by the Big Reds. Crowd starting to make some noise. You're right. You can see it. Cougars just back off, right, offensively. They just do not want to give up that game-changing play.
No, I mean, you see the gap, and Chippewa's got to drop everyone back because they cannot give up that 3rd goal. So.
Two-goal lead already feels like a mountain to climb. 3-goal lead would be, with 16 minutes left to go in regulation, pretty much insurmountable.
Dakota defense, I want to hear them talking to each other a little bit more.
Chippewa Valley, unofficially, I think he has, what, 1 shot on goal? Nothing in the second half?
I think you're right. And I think maybe only 3 shots total.
Just out of bounds. Unplayable by Hammersley. Those are pretty clear instructions.
Yeah, simple, frustrated crowd member. Just ask him to stop turning it over. Simple game plan.
Don't need a PhD or a head coaching degree to figure that one out.
He should yell that they should score a goal.
Yeah. It was only that easy, right? Response back, we're trying. Kovic.
Seen this before.
Work. Yep, he gets hauled down in the box. Let's see. This can be a penalty kick.
No, I actually think the no call was the right call. That was a tired Dvokovic who kind of ran out of steam and happened to make some contact with the defender at the same time.
Tonight's Cougar Den is about, I don't know, 10 members. They didn't agree with the call.
They did not. No.
Small chorus of boos rained down on the officiating crew here tonight.
It's about as polite of a disagreement I've seen with an official, though. That's pretty good.
More frustration by Sawa on that far side. A couple times tonight he's thrown his head back and looked up into the sky. Chippewa Valley really in no hurry either, as they've been frustrated at times throughout tonight's game.
And that defense, I'm sure they're tired. They've played 75% of the game in their back half.
Seemingly takes a lot more energy out of a player to defend, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it does. I think your forwards, they can time their runs a little bit differently. They choose when they're making those runs. They choose when they're aggressive. As a defender, you're at the mercy of what the opponent's bringing at you. And it's been relentless today from Dakota.
Very smart brand of defending soccer being played right now by the Cougars.
Yeah, they're making the transition almost impossible for anyone to catch somebody off, which is exactly what they need to do. That should be their game plan right now. They've got numbers at all times in the back, so Chippewa's going to have to create the midfield, which is not what they're doing right now. So they're still trying to pump that ball upfield, and I think they've really got to start utilizing that center midfield and their wings, making those long runs, but they've got to stop trying to run up the middle. I just don't think it's going to happen tonight.
Yeah, there's seemingly 6 or 7 blue jerseys in the middle of the field at all times right now for Dakota. Talked about how patient this Dakota team was in the first half. Well, that patience has been magnified even more here in the second half with the 2-goal lead as that shot sails wide.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. They haven't been as aggressive offensively, but they've still created some opportunities to just take them as they come. Very solid in the back.
More broadcasts this season here on Chippewa Valley Cable Television. A couple more volleyball broadcasts, as well as Chippewa Valley's homecoming game, as I mentioned, coming up this Friday against the Anchor Bay Tars. Make sure you hit the subscribe button right here on our YouTube channel. Get email alerts and notification of when all of our programming is available to you right here on Chippewa Valley Cable Television. Kovic will leave it. It's Joey Mueller. Turnover. Liam Garner has it taken right off his foot there by Mueller.
Oh, handball they called there. Ball bounced up on him that turf and just caught his hand.
This isn't the most exciting brand of soccer, but it's certainly effective. It's a textbook example of how to preserve a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, and you're seeing the frustration now on Chippewa Valley's end. They've taken a couple penalties here that, they're tired penalties. You stick your leg out a little bit to slow a offensive player down when you're already beat.
Mueller will put his left foot in it, trying to chip it over top the defense.
It's a tough ball to score on, a floater from the center into the center.
Counter effort by the Big Reds, and it's Mueller back in that midfield position once again. Under 10 minutes left to go. Closery, through ball. Chase down, thrown across.
But that's what Chippewa's going to have to do. They're going to have to use those sidelines, spread that defense out, make Dakota go to the ball, and try to create some space in the center for what should be your attacking midfield. But even there, that midfield was not up with play for Chippewa. When that ball changed possession, you had 8 Cougars and 2 Chippewa Valley Big Reds between the ball and the goal. That is a difficult way to create.
Krasanoya brings it in, fires it downfield. Devakovic, fans urging him to take the shot.
And
Again, easier said than done.
Yeah, who is he to disappoint the crowd? You got to try. So
fans want to be entertained. Cougars going to take their time throwing this ball in. Impressive effort tonight by Dakota.
72 minutes into the game here. It is definitely time for Chippewa to maybe even hit that panic button and try a few different things here, but they are going to have to do something.
bring up some defenders, right?
Yeah, this is where you unfortunately have to risk giving up that third goal if it's the only way you're going to get your first. But it's not. It can't just be your two forwards. That's the difference here. You've got to push your midfield up.
Tapped forward. Oftentimes these sort of broken plays that lead to offense. And just nobody home right now for Chippewa Valley. Turns into a numbers game, and Dakota 4 or 5 bodies back defensively. Good one touch. Kovic along this near side, puts his left foot into it.
Oh, good idea, yeah. Good defensive play there to get his foot on it. Good save. No whistle. Oh, no, his flag's up. Yeah, he did call the ball out, so that'll be a corner kick for Dakota.
Six and a half minutes remaining, second half. Take the short route on this corner. Ball squirts out. Defender knocked down the Cougar, who remains down. He's not going to get the call that he was looking for, and maybe this creates an odd man rush. Nope.
Some nice passing for the Big Reds. Nice defensive play there to break that up. Slow down the momentum, get numbers back even more.
Savage making sure he didn't touch that ball before it sailed over the sideline. Bodied up by the defender, played out and cleared out once again by Dakota. Tapped down.
Yeah, well played.
Liam Garner out of bounds. Chippewa Valley has brought everyone up, minus the goalkeeper, Dominic Savage. He may even join the fray at some point. Contact made. Foul call against Chippewa Valley. Under 5 minutes to go. As I mentioned, Dakota will have a home game in 2 days. On Wednesday, October 9th, they will take on Port Huron Northern. Chippewa Valley will go and travel to L'Anse Creuse North on Thursday the 10th to take on the Crusaders. That's some physical play starting to pile up. Brent Newton, little forearm to the back there.
Chippewa should push everybody up at this point. 4 minutes left.
Dominic Savage, he's all the way up to the 26-yard line. It's got to be a dream of every goaltender, right?
Absolutely.
To join the offensive fray.
Yep.
Oh, looking for like the one-timer. Lucas Savage couldn't get the kick off. That might be a ball he would rather just settle and then kick.
See, late in games, you sometimes see the goalkeepers move up for corner kicks or restarts, but typically it's, you know, your goalkeepers who have the height. And no offense to Mr. Savage, but I don't think he's going to be winning a header in the box for a goal. So
well, he's creeping up even further. He's looking for instructions from his bench. He's all the way out to midfield.
Yeah. This is what Chippewa has to do with 3 minutes left, though. They have to put everybody they can in that box, and if the ball gets cleared, it's up to Savage to put it right back in. Oh!
Out of midair.
Good effort, yeah.
Save of the game for Crossanoia.
Oh, now we got a breakaway.
You got Savage backpedaling and looking for the hat trick. Is Liam Kachu, and he will get it.
He did. Good finish. Yeah.
See, live and die.
Goal, Cougars.
Third goal of the contest.
That's the risk. You saw Savage, he was trying to figure out when he was going to enter that 18-yard box. Didn't want to turn his back on the shooter, though. And by the time he realized he was in the 18, it was too late.
Number 16, Liam Chachu.
Well, and with 2:53 left and a 3-goal deficit, this is where the writing might be on the wall here for Chippewa Valley.
So I didn't see any fans toss their hats onto the playing field. I'm really disappointed in that. That tradition didn't carry over to the soccer world, huh?
It's just too big of a pitch. You're not going to make it.
One of the greatest traditions in hockey, huh? They gather all the hats up at the
the shovels.
Yeah. And there's a turnover. Frustration is officially set in now for Chippewa Valley as they'll look to play out this remaining 2.5 minutes. Odd angle shot. Boy, oh boy. I didn't think there was any way Christian Dedvakovic was going to be able to get anything on that, let alone get it near the goal.
Dakota's just continue to put the pressure on here. But, again, it's the turnovers from Chippewa Valley. They just can't get it out of their zone.
So it's probably only right that each team wins their home contest. And you and I mentioned the potential is there for the rubber match in district playoffs. If both teams are able to win their first round games, the two teams would play each other. Wish both teams success in the postseason. We'll be keeping a close eye on the outcome.
That's when the rivalry steps up even more when you're playing for a trophy. So
To keep their postseason hopes alive. Back to the drawing boards once again for Chippewa Valley, as this is turning more and more likely into their 5th straight loss to end the season. As they will fall to 3-11. Dakota will improve to 7-7-2, so they'll finish the regular season exactly 500. Final corner kick coming up with under a minute left to go.
I called a throw.
Check that. We'll have a throw in.
Yeah.
Well, pretty easy pick for player of the game this evening.
Yep. No need to vote.
Kachu with all 3 of the Cougar goals in this game as teams will just play out the remaining 10 seconds.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
And that will, in fact, do it. 3-0. Cougars on their home pitch with the victory over their rivals from Chippewa Valley. Paul, your final thoughts here tonight.
You know what, Dakota, they look good. They really played a team game the entire day. You know, last time these two teams played, Dakota started off that way. They lost shape numerous times throughout the game, but today they just played a solid game. And overall, I think Chippewa Valley just didn't have an answer.
A lot of fun calling these games with you, Paul.
I'm enjoying it,
Pleasure
Brett.
to have
Thank
you
you
on board.
Yeah, it's great. I'm enjoying it, and everyone that's been listening knows how great of a job you do.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Mike Tirico of Chippewa Valley Cable Station. So
yeah, I'll take it.
We
I like
enjoy
it.
listening, and keep up the good work.
Couldn't do it without the hardworking Chippewa Valley Cable Television crew, Dominic Vitale and my main man, Joe Chapo, on the cameras. Jim Calderon, working live truck for my broadcast partner, Paul Sibley. I am Brad Fetter saying goodbye one final time from Dakota High School. Once again, the Cougars take it over the rivals from Chippewa Valley by the final score of 3-0. We'll see you Friday night over at Chippewa Valley for their homecoming game against the Anchor Bay Tars right here on Chippewa Valley Cable Television. Until then, good night. Thanks for watching.